Two of the area's best lacrosse and baseball squads put their fans through the ringer, both on the road, both looking like they might lose, but they both exemplified how it really is not over until it's over. I'm Mark Fontes with sports. Robbinsville boys lacrosse has lost some close games here in the early part of the season. Yet coming into Saturday's meeting with Hopewell Valley, they only had one win. Hoval, on the other hand, had only one loss so far. Yet no one would have guessed either team's record based on how the day went.
Hopewell Valley gunning for another win Saturday. Robbinsville trying to salvage a tough season and stop things from getting out of hand. First quarter, Hopewell with it. Chaz Bell to Lance Meyer. He's covered by Jimmy Eckstein. Meyer cuts right, shoots. It's into the top of the net to get the Bulldogs on the board. Bell on the assist. He and Mike Burkhofer come over to give Meyer props. Eckstein got right on the attack. He passes to Nick Ferrero. Quick stick. Ferrero notches one for the Ravens. He and AJ Sanguinetti, their top scorers, 3 goals apiece. Later, Bulldogs back on O. Elliott Rose, number 2 to Bell. From several yards out, he creases the net as the Dogs regain the lead. Bell with some fist pump action there. Lance Whitaker behind the cage. He connects with Rose, who gets set. Rose dumps it off to Taggart Whitaker, who's right there and scores despite taking a tumble. There is nothing lax about lacrosse. It's physical. Don't believe me? Watch Tommy Langford closely. He shoots and scores, but you don't catch most of his collision with dog pound leader Sean Clay playing some brute defense. 6-2 Hoval at the half. Third quarter, Dogs on the attack yet again. Rose shoots. Goalie Jeff Kalzinski appears to make the save, but the ball comes down and it trickles on in. Credit Rose with that goal. A frustrating one for Arville to give up, but their playmaker soon stepped up like Sanguinetti. He scores this on the bounce as the Raven fans got back into the game. Now, both goalies had quite a bit of work to do in this contest. For Hoval, Kyle Hohen and Nick DiBenedetto combined for 21 saves. Kalzinski on his own tallied 9. Robbinsville, though, outscoring the Dogs 5-1 in the third and tying it at the end of the period. Burkhofer behind the net finds Taggart Whitaker, who shoots and scores. Whitaker led everyone in goals, 7. Robbinsville's Trevor very accurate pass to Tommy Langford, and Langford ties it up yet again. The fourth quarter about to get very interesting between these two groups. Ferrero here keeping it himself, thrusts it as he falls down, and the Ravens take their first lead of the game. With 4:38 to play, now they were the ones who needed some solid defense, but the Dogs regrouped, talked strategies, and holy Hopewell, they ended the game with 3 unanswered goals. Another win for the Bulldogs. Whitaker and Bell stopped by after.
We definitely lost composure right after the second half, and I don't know, we just needed to get back on and do what we do.
You saw there in the third and fourth quarter, they were scoring a couple goals and we were getting down on ourselves, but we just need to stay focused, stay at the task at hand, and just keep working.
That shaky camera work, of course, due to the Hopewell fans stomping on the bleachers with unbridled excitement. In baseball, April 14th, 2012 is a day that Steinert baseball fans will not forget all season, perhaps not at all.
The high-flying Steinert Spartans flew into Lawrenceville Prep Saturday amid a 6-game stretch in which 5 of those are on the road. Top of the third inning, Adam Reese up with Karsten Robb on second. Reese swings, belts this through to right for a base hit. Robb, one of the team's biggest guys, certainly able to run, though. He comes in from second and puts the men in green on the screen. The board, actually, 1-0. Bottom 3, things got a little hairy for them. Eric Spidell at the plate for Lawrenceville with runners on first and second, lays down a beautiful bunt, and Spidell can run, as evidenced by making it to first and loading the bases. Sam Faherty up next. Looks at a pitch in the dirt. It goes to the backstop. In fact, all the runners move up, so the game now tied at 1-1 in the third. Faherty eventually got on. Next up, it was John Hayden. Full count on him. He takes ball 4. So the Big Red grabbed the lead without having to do much except trot the base path. And it was far from over. Joe Clancy in the next at-bat. He watches ball 4 pass him. So another bases-loaded walk, forcing in a run. 3-1 the score. Spartans bring Ryan Contura out of the bullpen. He pitches to Barrett Baldridge, who bunts and lays down a masterpiece the other side of the mound. That's an RBI. That run charged to Craig Buzinski. Still only 1 down for Ian Nacarello. He gets it past the infield. Reese out and right coming over makes a brilliant grab, but it's more than enough to drive in Mr. Spidell. The Big Red went up 5-1 and heading into the top of the 7th had a 4-run lead still, but the Spartans cut it to 2, and that was the beginning of something special. Big Red in a bit of a jam. They call a conference on the mound. 1 out, runners on first and second for Eddie Ashley. He swings and sends it to the gap in right center field. Steve Bayona can't get to it. It'll get back to the wall. Casey Plunkett scores. They wave Jeff Mattinelli around from first. This game is tied. 4 runs in the top of the 7th for the Spartans, matching what they had put up in the first 6 innings. A few batters later, it's Robb. He hits a chopper on the ground towards second, off the glove of Barrett Baldridge. Ashley scores. James Locklear, who reached earlier, comes in. The Spartans now with a 2-run lead, protecting their unbeaten record like it's their child. Then the man who got the inning started, Adam Reese. Swung on and drilled deep to center field. Bayona going back for it. It's over his head. Ground rule double. Brock Podgorski and Gary Malagrino walk home. Steinert with an out-of-this-world comeback. 8 runs in the 7th. They win a wild one.
Nerves were racing, obviously, being down 4 runs, but I know our team could do it. We could pull together and put up a lot of runs like we did.
Everyone picked each other up. That was the thing. If someone messed up, someone was behind to pick them up. We kept battling, and the last 3 outs are the hardest outs to get in the game, so I think we showed that today.
For the most part, we kept the game in check. The walks and things like that, wild pitch error, really, they were the things that, we want to shore up.
And finally, Team of the Day is brought to you by Prior NAMI Business Systems, a full-line computer sales and service center, your business solutions headquarters. Steinert softball pulled off an unexpected win over a prep foe themselves on Saturday. They beat the always challenging Petty Falcons at home by 5 runs. The loss for Petty was just their 2nd on the season. That's sports. Up next, the granddaughter of 2 Titanic survivors wrote a book last fall on her grandparents' true story. She stops by for tonight's Close-Up to tell us more.